I'm the fourth generation, maybe the fifth on this land, that it's not just for you, and sometimes your ego gets in the way. So you start making decisions that have a different goal, then it becomes a little bit more easy to do.
Budgets are tough, right? But it's the responsibility, which is your ability to respond.
I love farming. I love farming with my dad. I love the challenge of what we were facing and getting up every morning and trying to do it as good or better than the generations.
What are you farming for? And how do you maintain your mindset when shit hits the fan? Let's start on the right here of my screen anyways. Let's start with Chris, and then I'll go around the room. And if anybody has any more questions, but otherwise this will be the last question.
Lately, I feel like I'm farming for the Liberal Party of Canada.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Wonderful people. Doesn't that motivate you? I mean, doesn't Carney get out of bed in the morning? Take it, Carney. We love you.
Yeah, I mean, if they could just stay out of our bloody way, that would be, I'd be very grateful. But I mean, the next generation. I mean, that sums it up really nicely. That's what we're here for. We're here for, not only that, the land and seeing the land improve year after year. I mean, that's pretty awesome feeling when you go and you take some marginal dirt and make it produce better. That really warms my heart.
Oh, that's great. No, those are two really good reasons. What about you, Jeff? What are you farming for, no matter what?
I think the easy answer is the next generation, to give them a standpoint or a starting point that's better than what even I was left, and it's the long-term position of it. For us, it's I'm the fourth generation, maybe the fifth on this land, and I think that sort of gets you up in the morning, makes you realize that it's not just for you, and sometimes your ego gets in the way or whatever. So you start making decisions that have a different outlook or a different goal than just yourself. It becomes a little bit more easy to do and to endure the hard times than oh, poor me, I don't get a new truck this year.
Oh, I feel for you. You need a shoulder to cry on? No,
I'm good.
I'm glad, because you're kind of a big guy. No, I appreciate that perspective. We've had a lot of deep conversations about that, and I appreciate the relationship we have there, Jeff. We all have our days for sure, no matter what business we're in. But Norm, we've talked about this topic, farming for what. You've sent me pictures of your kin and your kids and your grandkids and everything. I think I know what you're going to say. I don't want to give it away, but
Okay, well, certainly, I mean, we do it for our kids and we do it for our grandkids, and I think kind of a neat saying is like, okay, budgets are tough, right? But it's the responsibility, which is your ability to respond. And I think, you know what, we have a gift here. We can farm and be with our kids, and there isn't anything better than that. And in the end, you have this table, right? And you have these holidays, and it's who's at your table that matters. And our table's growing, and we've got grandkid number 6 coming here in a couple of weeks. So it's incredible,
Amazing. Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's very cool. I appreciate that. Well, Jay, I'm going to give you the floor. This was your whole deal. You inspired this whole conversation. How are you feeling right now? How full is your cup?
Oh, good. And I think Norm looks way too young to have 6 grandkids, but we'll just go from that. That's, yeah, I mean, feeling pretty full right now. And obviously I think we all have a legacy generational aspect to why we farm. I think, and I think part of that is we all come from generation and legacy, right? And so I think we understand it as good as anybody. But but I would say part of my journey was, and Jeff would know this, when I was younger, I was a bit of a wild man. And so when I started farming, it wasn't necessarily just because of where I was in life. I didn't necessarily get into it with the assurance that there would be a next generation or legacy to pass on. I sort of got into it because I love farming. I love farming with my dad. and I love the challenge of what we were facing, and getting up every morning and trying to do it as good or better than the generations were before me. And I love that challenge, and I think that's part of my journey and why I did it too. I didn't do it to be, an HR specialist or all these other things that have sort of evolved over time. So I would say that's sort of my take on that.
I actually thought you were going to say to get good TikTok content.
I mean, I wish that was the case, but if you would notice, I have very, very little good drone footage. So you guys just have to deal with my wonky hips.
Well, part of the reason that I wanted to have this whole thing is because you're normally such a inspirational, easy-go-lucky kind of guy. You're very positive generally, and when I saw you a little bit down in the dumps there and all the responses, I thought, what an opportunity to provide a forum for folks to talk about it a bit. And it's maybe not a super highly technical talk with a whole bunch of answers, but it helps to kind of get that out on the table. And I think everybody's experiencing that a little bit this year, and hopefully talking about it helps each other and creating a little bit of a community here